Hiya, it's Kerry from Mobilates. I hope you're ready for 30 minutes of really mindful, gentle mobility style movement. And you can do it standing, you can do it sitting, you can do a mix of things. You can do it at the edge of your bed. And then when we come to lie down, you might stay sitting, you might lie down. You can make it work any way that works for you. Right, we're going to start just getting our feet comfortable, sitting comfortably, giving yourself a little sway side to side. And we're going to take our attention right up here to the jaw, somewhere that holds a lot of tension for a lot of people. You'll know when you go to the dentist and they sort of say, oh, do you press your teeth together? Do you clench at night? So we're just going to give this area a little stroke. And as you do this, you open your mouth just slightly, let your teeth part. You don't need to push hard. I'm just stroking this bit around here. Like my fingers are just dragging a little bit on my skin. Oh, there's a whole flurry of activity. Hello, Christine. Nice to have you here. Now you can keep going with this. You could also just smooth your fingers down like that, or take it into a circular movement. You'll feel the sort of skin just moving as you do that. And keeping the mouth just soft and open. Sometimes when you do this, you don't realize how much tension is there until you're there and you're like, oh, that feels better. And then we'll stroke our hands further down our neck and get our feet into a parallel position and just give your feet a little shuffle or a wipe. Just create a little bit of warmth or friction in your feet. Check that your feet are pointing forwards. There's a gap between them big enough for a book, and we'll just give our toes a little bit of a wriggle up and down. Now you might be doing both your feet together. If you're standing, probably one foot at a time, and you might be holding on to something, because as soon as we move our toes, it's a bit challenging for the balance, and you might notice I'm looking down, you're looking down, we're all checking our toes out. And then soften your knees. Hello, Andrew. Lovely to have you here. We're going to place our hands on our hips. If you're standing, your knees are really quite soft here. If you're sitting, you're just sitting comfortably with your hands on your hips, your knees are already bent. And we're going to go around like a sort of hula hoop circle. So as we do this, it's like a mix of circling and pelvic tilts together. If I'm doing this on a chair, it's like the bottom of my pelvis, my sit bones underneath, it's sort of drawing a circle on the chair. I tend to have my legs wider when I'm doing this on the chair. It's a bit more comfortable. There's a little rise and fall with it. Just giving our hips, our low back, they'll move around. And then sitting or standing, just grow a little taller. If you're sitting, bring your legs back into that parallel position. Tap the back of your head. Just touch or rub the bridge of your nose or your glasses. Just you want a mild sensation. And then we take those sensations, slide back a little. And we've got our chin here. It feels like there's a bit more chin. Give your shoulders a wriggle and turn side to side. Just seeing how far is comfortable for you to go today. This is all part of the warm-up, so we don't need to do anything to its maximum. We're just moving. And then come to the center. And now we're going to tip side to side. The chin sort of pivots in the center. Some people like to put their fingers underneath their chin, like you're saying a little prayer. And that makes that a real side to side movement. Hello, Irene, just seeing that you're here as well. Welcome. Think of it like a seesaw. So the seesaw's not turning, it's just going down one way and down the other way. This up and down or side to side sort of movement. And then come back to the center and starting to move our shoulders. We'll go one side, let the waist just move a little here, upper body, and then the other side. So it may be both together. Maybe breathing in as your shoulders go up and then out as they start to move around the back and down, real slow motion. And then coming back to our feet, give them another little wake up, little rub. Take them a little wider apart. We're going to bring a gentle tension to our belly. It's the same happening at the back. There isn't much to feel at the back, but it's this tension sort of right around here, like a really wide, sort of tight elastic, or like you've got big tight pants on. They're coming right up here. So we've got that tension there. Now, if you're sitting, put your arms on your chest, just let your arms flop down. If you're sitting, arms out to the side, I like my palms outwards. They're not super straight, soft tensions here, and the length in the spine. And we're going to rock a little forwards and a little backwards, letting your weight tip towards your toes, and then your heels. That's it. Ooh. It does feel a bit wobbly. You can certainly use support on this if you are standing, especially if you're sitting. Sides of your chair, just holding on sometimes helps. And then let that go, have a little wriggle. And we're going to take the feet back into parallel. We're going to do a little heel raisey sort of march, but I'm going to keep my hips still. So I'm raising one heel and then the other. The calf muscle gets a little squeeze here. I'm taking my time now, really pressing the front of my foot down. I'm just going to come back slightly, really pushing into my toes. And it's all my toes, from my big toe over to my little toe. I'm not going sort of on the outside, that would be the outside. I'm not going on the inside. You can see my knee starts coming in. I'm doing them really evenly, like they're pressed into damp sand on a warm day at the beach. And then I'm going to bring my arms in as well. Now I'm making my arms a little longer and a bit of a rotation creeps in here. Now, if you're doing this in the chair, just a word of caution, do it with shorter arms, because otherwise that rotation just crashes your arms into the back of the chair. So in the chair, more like this, but let your body do that gentle rotation. And you could have your legs a little wider for this. If you've got osteoporosis or osteopenia, this is a really small rotation, very much in a sort of functional, functional range, like when you turn to look at somebody. So we're not trying to keep anything extra still or anything like that. Just everything gently move here. And then let that go. Bring your elbows into your sides, place your feet down comfortably. Nest your elbows in, palms are up. I'm going to take one hand out to the side and keep the chest exactly where it is. And just notice what happens. Now I can notice this side seems to be working better than this side. There's just a tiny bit of a pull here, and I've got a shoulder injury on that side that's sort of nearly better. It's just got the very ends of it recovering. So I'm not surprised. Note what's happening for you. And if you feel there's like a little twist happening, we don't want it, take yourself to a wall, take your back right against a wall and do this there, and it will give you a bit more stability. I'll take it right to your shoulders then. We're going to try both hands together. And then we're going to lengthen the arm out. Bring it back. And now as we do this, we're going to start shifting from side to side with the feet. So just letting the weight shift. And then we're going to pick a side. So I'm picking this side. And I'm going to lighten my foot and really lengthen into the other leg. So I'm standing up really tall. The hips don't do this or this. They stay very level. I'm lightening my foot. Maybe I'm going to take a foot off the floor. If you're sitting, bring your legs in closer to each other and bring that foot, just hover it off the floor. It could be that you've got a toe down and your heels up. It could be your legs right up in the air. And then bring everything down, give everything a rub. I find these are the bits that hurt at the side. They just give me a little reminder at the end of that movement. And then we'll go back to that swaying. Arms in. In fact, no, let's change it. Let's bring those arms back. So let's have those arms doing a little swing as we shift side to side. Sudden change of plan. Hello, Simone. Hello, Gillian. Just seeing you joining us here. Very welcome. So we're just doing this little shift side to side. The arms going forwards and backwards. Now I'm doing quite long arms. Could be short arms, especially in the chair. And then I'm going to take the weight over to the other side. See that leg's not ready yet? I'm going to sneak it over. Get my hips level. Grow taller. Feel a little tension on your belly. And then lift this foot or let it hover or get lighter. You might even bring a bit of rotation in. That's quite challenging because the eyes are just changing their focus point. You can keep it facing forwards. I'm going. Bring it down. Give the sides a little rub. Well done. More challenging than you think when you start these things. Now we're going to let our arms go down the sides. Feet are comfortable width apart. Grow tall. Keep the weight in your feet. Keep the weight in your buttocks if you're sat on the chair. And we're going to slide to one side and then come up tall. Slide to the other side. Come up tall. Go in a range that's okay for you, your spine. We're side stretching here. It's not the hip doing something. It's not this. It's from here to here. So these other points stay still. This point here and here. Your bum on the chest stays still. Your feet stay still. And one more. And then give everything a little wriggle. Have a little swish around us. A little bit of gentle rotation. Whole body moves. And we're going into a little bit more balance work. Working one side then the other. So I'll show you from the chair. So from the chair, come forwards in the chair. So your bum is sat on it, but not your backs of your thighs. This leg's going to stay still. I'm going to hold onto the sides of the chair quite softly. I'm not like really gripping, just nice and soft. I'm pressing this foot down. I'm going to tap forwards, side, back. And I'm going as far back as I can. Now my toes are just about tucked under, but if they won't tuck under, it's fine. Just tap whatever you can underneath. Forwards, side, and back. Couple more circuits. Standing, you might hold on to something for this. You might have your arms out. Grow tall. Keep your hips nice and steady. Forwards, side, and back. And I keep coming back to that sort of center point. But the next one's going to be different. And the same if you're sitting. Can you go forwards, side, and then back? Now, if you're sitting, you might find the chair leg gets in the way and you may have to come back and then go back, if that makes sense. Forward, side, back. Last one. And then have a little wriggle. I'm going to do the other side. So forwards, back, side, back, back. And then we're there again. Keep going if you're standing. Might have your hands here now if you're sitting. A little bit more challenging. Could even have your hands in a sort of Cossack position. This leg's really pushing down. Next one's different. Forwards, side, back. Forwards, side, back. It's more like you're drawing on the floor with your foot, or even in the air if you like. If you're standing, you might go in the air. If you're sitting, sort of skimming the floor surfaces. Last one though. And then could you bring those hula hoop hips back and make some circles? You might have your hands on your hips. And then we're just going to do a couple of roll downs before we take it down to the floor. So options here. Straight spine if you've got any low back issues at the moment, they're uncomfortable, and if you've got osteoporosis and osteopenia. So if you're sitting, slide forwards a little. Back stays really straight all the way to the top of your head. And then I'm going to just do a little tip back, like a little pelvic tilt. My bum's rolling back on the chair. And then I walk my hands upwards, closer to my belly and the hip crease. And then just give my shoulders a roll. I'm going to do that standing. Send my hips back. Little pelvic tilt. Push my hands into my legs, come up tall. I might even send the chest forwards a little bit and just roll my shoulders there. If you're comfortable doing flexion in your spine, so that's curving, hanging down, soften your knees and go maybe not as low as you can, maybe a little higher up. Just letting my shoulders have a little stir here. Hand just circles like it's stirring porridge, cocoa, something like that, paint. Really nice if you've had sore shoulders. And then when you're ready to come up, take a breath in. Send that to your back. It sort of feels like it's inflated, there's a bit of tension. And then push into your feet. Roll all the way up. Then you can straighten your legs a little bit, have a little wiggle. If you want to do one more, you can. Otherwise, we're going to change positions. So I'm going to lie down on the floor. You could stay seated. I'm going to show you seated options on the sofa. You might want to take extra cushions down with you. We're going to do some side lying positions shortly. So sometimes people want extra cushions for those. But I've got seated options as well. But if lying on your side is uncomfortable, look on the hip. Pillow here, pillow here. Give yourself all the cushioning, make yourself really comfortable. We're going to start on our backs. Or start at the back of your chair. Let your head sink down into the floor or a cushion. And you need enough support so that your, excuse me, your gaze is naturally straight up to the ceiling. You don't want your eyes looking behind you or almost feeling like your chin's dropping down and you're looking at your thighs. Something which feels like your head is just naturally looking at the ceiling. And it varies for everybody. Some people have nothing. Some people have a folded towel or a really little cushion. Some people need something quite big and squishy. If you're sitting on your chair, you might have something behind your back. Just letting everything get really comfortable. Feet are on the floor, our legs are bent, and we'll rest our hands somewhere in this hip crease area on the low belly. Close your eyes if you're happy to. If you're lying down, we're going to do marble on a plate. So you can imagine that you've just put a tray or a plate, round plate on your belly, and you're just rolling a marble right around the very edge of that plate or that tray. If you're seated, you're upright doing this. So we can't imagine something that's lying in this plane here. It's a much more upright plane. So I imagine something in a spin dryer going round, silk scarves or different coloured socks to get that same undulating circular movement. And you can close your eyes and just get lost in that sensation. Notice how it feels, especially for your back, the back of your pelvis, maybe a bit of your low back. You might notice that your legs are moving a little bit. You can feel the pressure change just slightly in your feet. There's no need to really push there. And then we're going to change direction and give yourself a moment. I always feel like I'm not sure if I have changed direction for a moment, but I also noticed that it's quite slow and clunky, so I think I have. And after a while, it sort of evens out. Your body goes, yeah, I know how to do this. Or your brain, more accurately, goes, yeah, now I know what we're doing. And then let that settle. And just let the back of your pelvis, if you're lying down, your sacrum, the sort of triangle that leads downwards, right back here, just let that settle on the mat. And if you're sitting, coming up close to the edge of your chair, so you're on the front third. Now we're going to leave our arms on the sides, so sides of your body or the sides of your chair. You could let your hands flop, or you could be on the sides of your hands. And we're going to bring our legs into parallel. So I'm bringing my legs in really close, take the heels out to the side, toes forward and let the knees part. I'm going to take a breath in. And as I breathe out, I'm going to slide a leg away and keep everything else really still. And as I breathe in, I'm going to slide back. Breathing out, slide away. Breathing in, slide back. Now we're going to bring our arms into it. Keep the legs going with the breath if you can. If in doubt, just breathe however you like. Floating the arms either up to the ceiling if you're lying down or ahead. Next time a leg goes away, send the arms back. And as the leg comes back, the arms come back. There's a lot of back, isn't there? Arms going behind you towards your ears and then straight ahead. That's more accurate. And you can see I'm starting to float my leg. I'm not even putting it on the floor. Now, if you're sitting, you may want a part of your foot to go on the floor, like your heel, or you keep the whole foot on the floor. This next one's going to be different. We're going back, and then we're going to soften the arms and go round in a circle. End with them pointing straight ahead towards the ceiling or straight ahead if you're sitting. Back straight or straightish, and then they soften as that leg comes back. Curve. And back to the center. It's almost like they're trying to each draw a circle. That's it, last one. And then let your legs have a little sway side to side. Now at this point, we're going to roll onto our sides. If you're sitting, stay as you are. And get your head comfortable, any extra things you need underneath your hips. And we're going to lengthen our legs away. They're slightly forwards. So if my legs were in line, they'd look like that. But I'm going to bring them a little bit forwards towards the corner of the mat. You can see there. And I'm just going to flatten my feet so that I'm right on the side edges of my feet. And my hands come down because I feel like I'm going to go a little bit forwards here. We're going to lift one leg, just a little, and then take it down. And then we're going to lift two legs and take them down 3 times. Now, if you're sitting, what I'd like you to do is take one leg out to the side. So it's going to look like that, and then bring that leg back in. Just stay with the same leg though if you're sitting. If you're lying down, one leg comes up just a little bit, take it down, and then both legs come up. You'll see that my feet are flat. One more time, it's coming up a little bit, maybe about a foot. You can push into the hand if that helps. And then if you're lying down, bend your legs forward. A bit like you're sat on a dining chair, but lying down. And bring this bottom arm, if it's out to the side, bring it forwards too. If you're sat on a chair, could you open your legs up so they're wider and put a hand on your chest. And then we're all going to let our chest just roll back a little. Now, if you've got osteoporosis or osteopenia or spinal issues that don't like rotation, could you let your legs open up as well? So your hips go back as well as your chest. If you haven't, just let the top of your body roll back. I'm just going to show you what it looks like in seated. So I haven't got anything behind me. I can't roll back onto a surface, but I'm just turning back. And I've really opened my hips up here to reduce the twist. But you could keep this very small, or you could make it bigger. One more. And then we're going to repeat on the other side. So whilst the people lying on the floor are just switching over or rolling away, if you're seated on a chair, so we've got our legs together, we're going to take one leg out to the side and back. The hips stay facing forwards, the body stays facing forward. Just keep going like that, just the same move. If you're lying on your side, remember your legs are long, the rest of your body, and slightly forwards. And you put cushions in any places that need a bit of extra support. Flatten your feet and don't let your feet splay out. We're going to have them right next to each other. We're right on the side of a foot, and I've just brought a hand down here to give me a little bit extra push. Right, so in this position here, we lift the top leg and take it down. We're going to lift both legs and take them down. One leg up and down. Both legs and down. Last time, up and down. Notice the feet are still really flat. They're coming, toes are coming towards my knees. One more. And then bring the legs forwards. So they're bent like we're sat on an imaginary dining chair. This arm, especially if it's right under your shoulder, comes out to the side. You might need to adjust your cushions a little bit, just so there's support for your head to roll a little. Hand on your chest. Remember, if you've got any spinal issues that don't like rotation, open your legs as you roll back. You can even let your leg move in the air with you like that. Feel like a cat or a dog about to lie on its back and have its tummy tickled. Or you can keep your legs together. This is if your spine's happier with rotation. And let your back roll back, your chest turn away. And we'll do one more. And then we're going to come back to a seated position. Take your time. Use your hands, use any props that want you help you get up. And I'd like you to sit tall. You could be sitting on something higher. You could be still on your chair, but your legs are open. You could have your legs bent. So if it's really uncomfortable in this position, and I know it is for some people love it and some people really hate it. You can bend your legs. If you could bend your legs like that and bring your heels up, we're just going to get a bit more of a stretch on the back of our legs. And we're going to do a little stirring sort of motion. So you can have your hands on your legs here for a bit of support, or even on the ground, or the sides of the chair. Or you could be holding like an imaginary spoon and pushing that spoon right around the edges of a great big cooking pot. That's it. And then we're going to change direction. Spine is upright and strong and long, so we're not curving over. Last one. And then move your legs, bring them in, get them into a more comfortable position for you. Give your shoulders a roll. We're going to come back to where we started. Just check in with the jaw, give it a little stroke, part the teeth, maybe that circle, that sign. Hopefully a little bit more relaxed than when we started. Take your arms out to the side, scoop up the air, bring your hands together, bring them into your chest. Thank your body for that half hour that you've just given to it. Little treat. I'll see you again next week.